Okay, we made it.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Everybody wave. I am Lucy McConnell. This is author Cami Checketts and author Jennifer Youngblood. And we are 3 of the 5 Texas Titan authors, and we are waiting for Taylor Hart to join us, and we're going to talk Texas Titans today. So we're really excited, and we're just going to give Taryn a second to get here and to log in. So while we're waiting, let's start off with the question. Cami, which was your favorite Texas Titans book to write?
Oh, wow, to write?
To write.
I know. The Fearless Groom, probably the very first one. It just was one of those fun, just spilled out. There's some action. There's a lot of romance. Loved Xavier.
I liked him too.
Yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah.
Hey! My friends, I miss you.
We miss you too. It feels like you should be here with us.
I know, I want to be scrunched into the screen with you. I'm so excited about this release date for you.
Thank you. Yes, I have to tell everybody today is the release of my Texas Titans book, The Devout Room. And so it's up and running on Amazon today. So I'm so excited.
And it's fantastic.
Oh,
I just
thank
read it a
you.
couple of days ago. It's really good.
Thank you.
So, yes.
So good. So good. So are you going to talk about your favorite thing with
Okay,
the
so
book?
Cami talked about her favorite book while we were. So
Yeah.
your turn. You go. Which one was your favorite book to write? The Titans.
Probably the first one.
Yeah.
Kincaid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
Yeah.
I loved that book. Yeah.
Tough love.
It is tough.
Well, and I love that it set up that family that you've continued to use throughout the series, and that's been so fantastic.
Yes.
So, because we all know him, I think I even mentioned the owner in my book this time, and I was like, he doesn't mess around with this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Cami, you kind of created James
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
My girl's dad,
Yeah.
yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Kincaids are a big family. But what about you guys? What's your
Okay.
favorite?
Jen, which one was
Well,
your
if
favorite?
you had asked me at the beginning, I would say the beginning one, right? Because you kind of laid
Yeah.
the foundation. But I think I enjoyed writing the second one the best, the Ghost Groom.
I love
It was,
Oh, that's
but that was my first character's name was Ace, and Ariana was his little sister,
Mhm.
and she's just really spunky and had her own gym, and she ends up with Renan Bradley, who was, the guy who was, just had been put in foster care, and I just really that one just has probably been one of my favorites, to write. Just all the dynamics with
He
them.
actually would go where she was supposed to be on a date, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and they met. They're the ones they met in. They met they actually met at a club. She was meeting a date there, and then the guy was a jerk, and so he comes to her defense, but before he can, she lays the guy out flat. So that was kind of fun. Yeah,
Thanks for trying, big guy. I
that's one for all of us women. So.
Yeah, my favorite one actually was this book. Big surprise. No, because Petra, the main character Petra, was my favorite because she is spunky and she gives like spammers and scammers a hard time online, and I just had so much fun with her telling these guys who are like, my brother's best friend's cousin is going to assassinate me and I have to get out of the country, and she's like, you know what, you should try making peace, buy her a cake, bake her a cake, here's what and she just goes right after me, goes and just annoys the heck out of them, and they can't get any money out of her, and that's her part-time job at night, and I loved writing those things, so it was super fun. So
Well, I love on the description how you have the rules.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, she has football baby.
No football players.
No football players. So, yeah, which is a problem.
Yeah. Perfect.
So,
Well, I know I was thinking about how we decided to do Titans and how we all came together, but we'd all kind of known each other from different things. Like we did Snow Valley, right? We had some Snow Valley, and then Cami and Jen and I did a round of Titans first.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then when we brought Lucy and Sarah, I know, I wish Sarah was here today.
I know. Everybody give a big shout out to Sarah.
She's off riding your Titan.
I know. She's doing Titan right now, and she's like hunkered down, and she's getting it finished, and she's like, so. Hi, Sarah.
Oh,
I love you.
Right.
What was that?
Sarah, right hard.
Yes.
Right fast, right awesome.
That's exactly.
Yep. So supportive. So
But
cool.
Titan's so fun with the bachelor auctions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is fun.
Always fun.
That
And
was
it's just fun to. I always like seeing how we all incorporate it because it's kind of all at different points of our books. You know, this time mine is the climax.
Oh.
I've never done that before with the auction, and it was kind of fun to do that.
that's
Usually
fun.
it's been like at the beginning or middle, but
right.
Yeah.
you know, and I think yours is in the middle, Cammie.
Well, yeah,
right?
my devoted groom, he actually ran out and
Yeah.
left the auction. Freaked everybody out.
Yeah. And that was where Petra finds out that he's actually a football player, is because he's being auctioned off as a football player. That's where she figures that out, and the lie comes, the secret's revealed. So,
Yeah.
Excited. Sounds good.
where is it in
Well, I
yours?
haven't had a chance to read yours yet, Christina. So
I know. Well, it just released today, so.
It's time now.
Cool.
I was gonna have us all talk about, like, because you know how everyone always asks, I mean, they always ask me, I know they ask you guys, where do you come up with your idea? You know, where do you come up with your idea? And so I was thinking maybe we could talk about where we come up with the idea for the most recent Titan book we wrote.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Christina, do you want to start since you're...
I was like, well, give me a second. I have to think that.
2 books ago.
I know. I'm like, we're in the middle of writing another one right now, so I gotta go back to writing that one. So I had the idea for Petra with her scam and things because I had seen a few YouTube videos of people who do this, and I thought that they were kind of heroes because I thought their whole purpose was to take on these scammers and use up their time so that they didn't have time to scam someone. So it was that, and they're not hurting anybody. They're not, taking any money. They're not doing anything. It's just we're a distraction so that they can't do the bad things to gullible people that they are trying to do. And I thought that was really a great strength for somebody to spend their time doing that. And so I loved, that was my idea for her. And then because she is so spunky enough to do this, that spunk spills over into the other parts of her life. And she's a single mom, and she goes through all this stuff of like, she wants to helicopter parent and she can't because she, and so it's just, anyway, she was the first that I had. And then I needed to come up with the guy to go with her. And so a football player, obviously, if she has a no football player rule, was the perfect match. so that's where.
That's really
What
good.
about you?
So mine, the theme of this one is confidence. And so my girl really has a hard time because of some things that have happened to her in her past. And so she's got to find her confidence. And, but of course, I at first I thought, well, maybe I'll make her a personal organizer, because I've always been fascinated with people who come into people's homes and help them organize. And then I started, kind of mapping that out and realized, that just doesn't resonate with me because I'm not exactly the most organized. So I kind of needed to go back.
It wouldn't resonate with me either, Jen.
And so I made her be a personal chef because that's something that I love to cook. My sister loves to cook.
And you're good.
Well,
You're
thank
good.
you. It was something that I thought, gosh, what an awesome, and so at the beginning she wins this. Well, she gets the chance to participate in this nationally recognized cooking competition.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it starts. But she has this spunky little sister. Taryn will recognize, my sister is how Taryn and I first met, which is
Just
how
a
I met
little
these
spunky.
girls. And so
Paige, it's a tiny bit spunky.
just a tiny bit. And her name is Tess, and she's the assistant. And so it's fun to have them play off of each other. But yeah, and then I like Cammie was doing, I actually, I think you had done this, Cammie had done this. I was going to try doing a family this time. And so this is, Chaz is the first, and it's called the O'Brien family from New Orleans. And that was fun to research New Orleans because they go back there and it's charming. And, you know, but, so that was kind of a little bit on how it got started. And
maybe we should go.
Yes.
I agree.
Just maybe we should do it.
And let me tell you, Chaz's family is incredible. I just gotta go there and see it now.
The next writing retreat is in New Orleans.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
We can do that.
We need to.
Yes. All right, you. How'd you come up with yours?
Okay. So I also started a new family with the Devoted Groom. So the Quinn family, all these 5 brothers, 1 sister, tough love mama. She's hilarious. And so I had Ryder, and he was awesome, but he lost his wife, has a little boy who won't speak anymore. And so it was pretty sad. And this Bree, who comes in as a speech therapist to help him, is hilarious. She's spunky. She's got big old curly hair. She's just awesome. They both fall in love with her. And honestly, guys, I'm a personal connection. 2 of my boys went through speech therapy and had a really hard time in grade school with it. And those ladies that helped them, I mean, saved our lives, you know, and just, I mean, they're both doing awesome now. It's not even an issue. And, you know, but it can be hard on a little kid. And so when I wrote this, and when everything, you know, the resolution, I have to admit I cried. So it's a love, very romantic one, but it's also pretty touching to me. So.
But those, I think those are the best, right? When you're writing it and you're like,
yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, you laugh because you're crying at something that you're writing.
These people are real. I don't care.
Well, and one day I think you think you're brilliant, and then the next day you're like, what was I writing? Right?
I know.
True.
It's true. It's true.
What about you, Taryn? Or Taylor?
It's fine. It's fine. So Dax Brady is I'm doing another Brothers too. Yeah, he's the oldest. And he just lost the Super Bowl for the Titans. And so he's really pinned down by James Knight and John Kincaid. And they're like, look, you got to get help or we're going to trade you. But he has some stuff going on. His brother got diagnosed with ALS, his youngest brother. And so he's having all this stuff, and he's had some family contention. So really, he ends up for therapy. The therapist that comes in takes him to Puerto Rico to build houses.
Oh, wow.
And my son had an opportunity to go to Puerto Rico last fall. And so it was all inspired from my son. So,
awesome.
yeah. It's
another one of those where it's a big heart.
I loved it.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen.
I know we just felt giggly when we got
Yeah,
now people know how we are at retreats.
Somehow we get words out.
We're laughing.
Yeah, and somehow we get words out. I don't know
Yeah.
how it happens.
We
Somehow
don't-
I go
No,
home
we
having
do.
written more than I went with. So.
That's good. 'Cause, yeah, we don't
Yeah.
sleep. We laugh.
Yeah. Mostly. What was that?
I miss you guys. I miss
Yeah.
you.
We miss you too.
Miss you too.
Yes. It's not the
But I'm
same
happy
without
you're
you.
writing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Alrighty. Well, we should probably wrap this up so we don't take everybody's time today. But thanks for joining us. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I love you guys. Okay, I'll let you go. And
Okay.
happy birthday, the devout groom.
Yeah.
She's going to knock it out of the park.
See you guys soon.
There we go. Okay, and we're gonna say goodbye too.
Okay.
I should have probably
Thank
told you
you.
we're coming to you live from Bear Lake,
Yeah.
where our writing retreat is.
Yes.
This.
Yeah, if we can keep ourselves locked down, then we're good to go.
We
So
actually will get work done.
Yeah.
We can't go outside.
that's true. Okay, so thanks for joining us
Thank
today. Have a
you.
great day.